Hi, I'm Joe Murphy. I did a previous video on the Kubler-Ross. It's Kubler-Ross change curve. Okay, it's a tool that people use to diagram where people go through in their different stages or phases as people are exposed to change. Now, this may be happening to you in your organization. And again, I want to point out, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, but I also am not a therapist, but I also want to let you know that I have worked through this and have helped people get through these stages before. And I want to walk through again what I did on the previous video to make sure we're all on the same page. What happens is with change, there's a curve that goes like this that we go through. It's a pattern. Okay, and we're introduced to the change and we go through something called shock. Like, I didn't know this was going to occur. Surprise. Your management introduces this change. You could have been laid off. Hopefully you weren't. Or it could be a reorganization. Or it can be you lost some of your duties. Or whatever it is. I mean, we go through these stages. So there's shock. It's the initial surprise of the event. The next stage, and that's here, the next stage is a form of denial. And denial, what we're saying about denial is it's a disbelief. You're looking for evidence that this is not true. This is not true. This can't be happening to me. In fact, you might even find some friends that this happened to, or colleagues at work. And you're going to talk about, this is not happening. The next thing that happens is you get into this frustration area. And frustration is this idea that something is being done to you and you have no control over it. You might even get angry. Like, I can't believe they've done this after all I've given them. I did all this work for them. I sacrificed. And you get that frustration. And the next stage is depression. Depression is not a fun place to be. And in a lot of cases, you have to work through it. And this is, one of these areas, if you go into depression, I would recommend going out and finding outside counsel, a good therapist that's worked through this before. It's a low mood where you, with low energy, you don't feel like getting out of bed. You're going, what's the use? And your mind's not there. Okay. The next phase is this experimentation. I'm going to come back to experimentation in just a second. All right, so this is phase 3, phase 1. This first phase, second phase, then we go through a third phase, and we climb out of this depression. We start experimenting. Well, let me try. Let me learn what this is all about. And we pick up the ball and start learning. This helps us pull out of the depression. Okay, and then the next phase 3, the second part of phase 3, is the idea from experiment to make a decision. I'm going to embrace this. And then is fully integrate your work. Does this make sense? Sorry, my back is turned. But here's the deal. Okay, we're led to believe you have to go through all these phases, and this is not true. This is totally not true. And I've done this, and I'm going to give it to you right here. You can go to shock, and you can make the decision. Okay, this is happening. I'm going to embrace, and this is the key word. I want you to write this down. I'm going to embrace the change as if. Embrace it as if. As if you're the one who created the change. It is a mental shift from powerlessness. It's a mental shift from powerlessness to being more powerful. It's going from a locus of not control to a locus of control. I'm in charge. I am going to choose how I feel about this by embracing the change and acting as if I'm the one that created the change. It's a trick. You're tricking your mind. It's an illusion, but so is all the other stuff that you're out of control, that you never had control and everybody's doing something to you. That's an illusion too. That's a conversation you're having in your head. But I'm giving you a new conversation. I'm embracing the change. And what you can do, yes, sit with shock for a minute. Oh my God, this happened. But turn that shock sooner or rather than later, instead of going into denial and going, it is happening. I'm going to embrace it and take control. This is true. You can change the shock and minimize the shock by saying, okay, well, this is going to be fun. There's a key word, fun. I'll give you another F word. No, not that F word. Fascinating. This will be fascinating. Okay. Yeah, not that F word. Fun and fascinating. You can also say it's going to be intriguing. I get a chance to test out my metal. And that's metal. You have to look this word up. We don't use this too much in the English language anymore, but test your metal. See what you're made out of. Shock. Yeah, maybe if you want to get into denial, this isn't happening. I can't believe this is happening. But as soon as this happens, as soon as you hear yourself, I can't believe this is happening. It is happening. I'm going to take control. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to shift, do a mental shift, act as if this could be fun and fascinating. Yeah, if you want to throw the other F word around, screw them. I'm going to show them. I'm going to embrace it. And what happens is you go from here to here. That's the key thing. You go from shock, let me try some things out. I'm going to learn what I need to do. And you bypass the depression, you bypass the frustration, and you go to experimentation. And as soon as you go to experimentation, your mind also shifts because you're now focused on learning something new. You can also go, I can make the decision that I'm going to embrace this because that's part of the decision. I'm making the decision. I'm going to experiment, and you go between here and here. And now you've bypassed all this mess. Stop wasted time. Management looks at you. Management goes, wow, this person is somebody to reckon with. And I mean that, somebody to reckon with. We misjudged him, or we misjudged her. I want them to misjudge you, because now you're the person that's got, I'm in control. And this is my destiny. I've got more. I'm going to come up on the other side of how to do this, but I've given you some great tools here. Don't be afraid to rewatch this tape or this video. Forward it to your friends. They may be going through a tough time, and they need your help. I'm Joe Murphy, and I am here for your success. Thanks.